Impressive, remarkable talent. Traitor or no, you may have what it takes to beat Sin. Take this. You have earned it.
Alright, so we get 30 power spheres there, which actually
Thank
completely
you.
went to waste.
I think you will do just fine.
I forgot
But
about that.
if you ever feel like you want more training, seek the hidden temple of Remium. I will be waiting there. Farewell.
Ah, so instead of her seeking us out, now we're going to seek her out. So I will skip this tutorial. This, I guess, is like one of the last core mechanics of the game that you learn. It's not really a core mechanic. Well, I guess it is. It's a whole chunk of the UI. But yeah, okay, so you get 30 power spheres for winning. If you lose, you get 30 speed spheres. Frankly, at this point in the game, you're obviously going to have 99 of all of them, so that was just a complete waste, sadly, for me, getting those power spheres. What you might want to do before fighting Belgamine is use those power spheres to go to Aeons and teach some abilities. So the power spheres can teach people cheer, right? So come down, cheer for power spheres. You can teach cheer to all your new guys that I've been neglecting to do this to, right? So here we go, another cheer, and so on. Well, we've now unlocked our final way of leveling up our Aeons. I talked about this back when we got Valor for. I remember talking about it back on Besaid. 3 ways to level your Aeons. Number 1, as you win encounters, they just get stronger. That stops after a little while. I think it's like 300 encounters or something. They also get extra stats based off of Eunice stats. But then when you get to the very end game and all of Eunice stats are maxed, you'll find some of your Aeons still don't have max stats. So then you can directly modify them with the Aeon Soul. I think that was the Summoner's Soul. So save Bahamut here. We can directly raise Bahamut's health by spending those power spheres she just gave us. We can give him 100 extra health. So there you go, he's now tankier. Or we can make him stronger, 1 more strength. Thing is, it's incredibly costly. You'll see that we're now down to loads of power spheres, only 19 left. But the thing is, with this game as well, you get so many of these spheres that you may as well spend them every time you get to 99 and just have fun that way. I almost feel like this should be given to the player earlier. But I wouldn't recommend it's given to the player instead of the one where you can teach people abilities. The ability one's a lot more fun. But this is actually a sink for some items that have been uselessly clogging up our inventory for so long, you know? But then also, it would be, Aeons are already overpowered enough as it is. What you might want to do, the way I would treat this, is I would just play into Aeon's strengths. So, Shiva, for example, what is her highest stat if we have a look around? Well, actually, it's funny. Her evasion and agility are really low, and I would have considered those to be her highest. It's actually her magic and magic defense that are really high. So what you might want to do is just buff those alone. But it's totally down to you. Or I would wait until you have Yuna at max stats and then see who needs more help and do it that way. So there you go. That's Belgamine dealt with. Some of these big craters, you can interact with the spikes on them. This one says, made of clay hardened by intense heat. It must be over hundreds of years old. These weird spiky things are actually, I'm going to go and save. Those weird spiky things, they're all over the Calmlands. They're really kind of distinctive to the fields. They're what makes it more than just a field. But what's really kind of interesting about them is seeing the development of this area. Whenever you wiki, like on Final Fantasy Wiki, an area of this game, or many Final Fantasies, they'll actually give you concept art that came from the Ultimanias of those areas. One of my biggest regrets of losing my notepad is the fact that I had noted down all hyperlinks to all the most interesting concept art for all these areas, and you guys have just missed out on all of it. But I do remember one from the Calmlands, which will probably be on the screen right now. The concept art for stuff in Final Fantasy X looks so interesting. Just the idea behind the development of the game is really cool. Alright, so with all of that done, we're now going to do, so here's the flaming ones. They just give you more AP. You don't have to worry about them aside from that. But this thing here is I never know how to say this, a Kurill. Now this guy will cast Drain and Blaster when he's low on health. These enemies are staples of the Final Fantasy series. Let's use Auron's new overdrive as well. We showed off status reels. Let's use Banishing Blade here. It only works on one target. Doesn't tell us what the hidden effect is. I don't remember what the hidden effect is either. Maybe that'll become apparent when we use it here. So here we go. He's going to drink from his nog. Up, L1, down, R1, right. There we go. And he's only got one more overdrive left before he gets his final overdrive, which is his 4th one. But yeah, these are like staples of Final Fantasy. You see loads of these. I think this is the first one you find in FF10. So what happened to him there? Oh yeah, so that inflicts all the breaks. Look, so it's cycling through power break, armor break, mental break. All of the breaks are on him, so he's just going to take insane damage from stuff now. So that's what that's really strong for. And that's actually a means of getting access to some of the late game breaks before you get them on the sphere grid. because you could get the Jex Fizz early. You know, as soon as you kill the Spheramorph, go back through the game as I described back then. Let's bring in Riku. And we will mug and deal with him. But yeah, so those are common enemies, spellcasting cat things that you find in most games. It's fine, and we'll mug from that one as well because she's so damn quick. Get lots of items and move on. And you find them out here in the Calmlands. There's a lot of enemies here that do give Kimahri Lancet stuff, especially if you've missed some Lancets. So you can get all the breaths here. So that would be Aqua Breath from Chimeras, who you can find here. You can get Stone Breath from some big snakes you can find here. And you can get Bad Breath from another staple enemy of the Final Fantasy series, who we will meet for the first time here, called Malboros. Now, and here's one. The more dangerous enemies, which Malboros absolutely are, these things will only ever appear in the northwest, or much more commonly in the northwest, while the little wolves and things all appear in the southeast, where we entered the map from. So where we are currently is an optional area with a lot more dangerous things. So let's mug from it. You get a remedy. These enemies have the ability Bad Breath, which I'll show you guys Kimahri using just soon. Basically, it inflicts you with tons of statuses that can lead to the death of your party, even when you're super late game. There are some really dangerous Malboros in the hardest dungeon in this game, and the reason why the dungeon is so hard is just because of those Malboros. They are horrible. So here we will swap back to something nice here. Let's go back to the Brotherhood. And with Auron, I don't know really what we can do. I guess we should have delay attacked with Tidus there, but whatever. So there, we get a remedy. Will he Bad Breath? No, so he's just going to shoot us. These guys do a few things. They'll like try and swallow you like those giant worms in the desert did. They're vulnerable to time magics. Delay Buster in particular is really nice against them. But I think they counter if you use delay magic against them. Oh, he hit it for 0. Is that because he's immune to water? Yeah, he's immune to water and blizzard. That's interesting. But he takes double from fire, so we'll do that. In fact, should we? Yeah, here we go. We'll run so rage. Fire Breath. Go. If he's weak to it, let's see how Kimahri does with his overdrive. 2k? That was abysmal. What is that? Oh, that was brutal. And he's still got tons of health left. Maybe we can summon an Aeon? Summon a Behemoth. I didn't show you guys some of his regular attacks. Nah, let's just give everyone a turn. Oh, I think you can actually still petrify these things. So let's get Whacker back on his TKO. I think you've seen pretty much every single Whacker weapon, by the way. So that's cool. Why am I still doing that with Tidus, for God's sake? No, he's immune. Well, that should make sense. Alright, fine. So there we go. This is Bad Breath. I knew it was going to come. Hopefully it doesn't wipe us. This could be a game over here. It all depends, because as you can see, everyone's confused all at once. They're also all blinded. Yeah, no. Okay, so the only way that you'll get through that is if one of your players manages to hit yourself, which will snap someone out of their confusion. But where everyone has darkness on them, and your party can sometimes be quite evasive, that may never happen. And then you just kill yourselves with poison. The statuses are really deadly. Thankfully, you can swap in someone else and do something like summon a dangerous Aeon, like Behemoth, and deal with it that way. Now, bribing Malboros is actually a great way to get some really good gear as well in the game, but we won't bother with that. So here's his physical attack. You know how I said he's just very slow and regal? Well, that's a good example to me. Yeah, so there you go. You just saw I did over 10,000 damage. So he breaks the damage limit immediately. He's the first Aeon to do it. So that's cool. Alright, so we just have to be a little bit more cautious of those enemies now. Obviously, all the statuses have been removed after the battle. 2 reasons we're up here. Number 1 is for that Chocobo thing. But also, over here on the left, right at the tip here, is an Abed Primer. That's volume 23. So let's just be clear about this now. How many have we got left? Not many. What, like 3 left? So we're really, really coming along with our Abed now. And that one can be pretty easy to miss as well, considering it's right out there. The backgrounds there, even though they're really expansive and vast or whatever, they actually don't look that good to me. Maybe it's just the HD remake sort of ruining it a little bit, but yeah. Alright, they're resilient to water. So how about we bring Riku in, and we mix together one of these... wait, what's the other thing that they're resilient to? Fire. So, we can't use a fire gem, but maybe we got something else cool we can do. Lightning marbles, well, we've used those before. I definitely don't want to show you guys something you've seen before. Well, we got Shadow Gem. Do you want to mix a Shadow Gem with a Musk and see what comes out? That might be fun. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, Shadow Gem plus Musk equals Nega Burst. Now what that does is it reduces everyone's health by 3/4, so they're both incredibly vulnerable now to dying. Actually not one of the most fantastic overdrives, but there you go. I'm hoping to mix a lot more with her, so don't worry. Alright, we'll mug from them as well, see what we get. Ice gems, that would have been good with the overdrive, for God's sake. Alright, we'll kill that one too. These are the guys you want to lance it for fire breath if you missed it. And there's only 2 more enemies here that look like the basilisk we once saw on Jose. But over here, you will see there's a guy on a chocobo in the distance. And yeah, I mean, they look nice, but I don't know, they could look a bit better to me. Over here, you'll notice there's a very subtle little slope down. So we're right near the scar right now, by the way. We just got ambushed by some of the weakest enemies in the map, in the hardest area of the map. But fine. You see, these guys are casting tier 3 black magic. I feel like in the game, if enemies are using it on you, you should probably have it yourself. But what do you know? Alright, we're going to flee now. We're going to start the flee train. There we go. So yeah, just towards the sky here, you'll see there's a very small slope that you can walk down. But if you try and go down there, there's a guy who says, hey, you can't go down there. Well, why not? Never mind, we'll have a way of dealing with him very soon. So we'll heal these guys up and go chat with the Chocobo lady and see if maybe she can help us with that guy. Alright, so here we go. This is the Chocobo guy. Let's have a chat. She says, I hope you're not planning to cross this place on foot. So if you want to ride a Chocobo, you have to go like almost in the opposite direction to where you're meant to go, just so that you can ride around. But don't forget, riding a Chocobo is A, quicker, but B, removes encounters, so it's a great way to explore the zone. She says, well, these places are home to lots of wild Chocobos. First, we must train them to be defendable mounts. I'm training some Chocobos now, but they're not quite tame yet. I'm sorry, I can't lend you any. Walking might be faster than waiting for one of my Chocobos. So she says all of that, but you can say, no, I'll train one. He says, that's easier said than done. It's not that simple, you know. You're sure you want to try? We say, of course we are. All right, come with me. So, now we get a series of mini-games. It's simple, she says. Just get from where you are to where I am before the time runs out. Simple, she says. And that's a long way away. Since you're riding a wild Chocobo, it'll just run whichever direction it feels like. Press left and right to steer between my Chocobo and me. Keep an eye on the clock and try not to miss the finish line. Don't hesitate to ask me about the controls if you need any, okay? Let's begin, shall we? Well, we'll shoot for 12 seconds, 0.8. So, you can say, get me off this bird. The controls are really simple. It's just left and right. So, as ready as ever. Let's do it. Target time is do it in less than 12 seconds. Don't move outside of those balloons. So, he's veering to the left, so I'm tapping right. Now he's veering to the right, so I'm tapping left. Now, you don't want to just stay inside. If you want to beat the time, you want to keep as straight as you possibly can. So, there's a bit of RNG here. You got to be really straight. So I just got that in 0.2 of a second's leeway. So she says, all right, you crossed the finish line. I clocked you in at 12.6. Target time was 12.8. And I just about got that first time, which is quite cool. It's not hard, but there you go. I've trained a Chocobo. So from now on, I can go Chocobo riding whenever I want. By the way, your Chocobo is ready for some advanced training now. Here's your prize. Whenever you tie or break your record, you'll get a prize like this. So you can get an elixir here. And if you try and break your record now, and it should be easy to break my record. That's actually a bit of a blessing in disguise. I should be able to break my record. I kind of find that using the analog stick might be nice here. Actually, I've just realised I've done this entire LP using the D-pad. When I normally play, so we messed that up. Normally, I play with the analog sticks. That's weird. So we never broke our time there. We'll try again. I just want to show you guys the reward for breaking your time and then moving on. I've heard of people staying here specifically to farm the reward that you get here. But yeah, come on. You can do it, Chocobo. No, don't run that way. No. And you got to get between her and the Chocobo. Did we beat it? We were, no. Oh, damn it. A tenth of a second off. Fine. Go again. Oh, we got the exact same time that time. Oh, it comes up with a new personal best. I guess, I actually think the game mechanically records to the 100th of the second too. It just doesn't display it. So apparently that is a new personal best. She's jotting it down. Here's our prize, an X potion, which is pretty good. So you can keep doing that for X potions. Now you can say, let's do something else as well. So even though we've now got the ability, let's try out Dodge a Chocobo. It's a new thing. Everything will be pretty much the same as the first, except now your Chocobo will run straight. But watch out for incoming balls. Dodge them with left and right. Your Chocobo will be stunned if you get hit, so do your best to avoid them. Also, don't hesitate to ask me about the controls, okay? Shall we begin? We'll shoot for 16.8. So, now we have much better control, but there's stuff flying at us. And we get a little bit more time too. So these blitz balls. Now, I like to dodge the first two and then weave in on the third. And this keeps you on course. You can't do like a 1, 2, 3 like I just did there. And if you get hit, then obviously it doesn't directly take time off of you, but it slows you down to the point where you fail. So there you go. I failed that one. We'll try again. I think your Chocobo could use some more training. Now, as you go further down there as well, the less like leeway you get. So it's nice to actually try and stick. Oh, I managed to do the 1, 2, 3 there. See, 1, 2, 3. Actually, do you know what? This could work. No, because as you get closer down, they come with a greater frequency and like less opportunity to dodge. So I like to be on the far left and then cut to the far right, or vice versa, which is what I just did. And that way those last blitz balls are all going to miss, but you stay on target. Anyway, she says, I clocked you in. Dodging is a breeze for you now. I think you're ready for the final exercise. Here's your prize. Whenever you tie or break a record, you'll get a prize. So this was level 1 key sphere. We really don't care about that. We'll go one more time and break the record. That was a homing blitz ball. What is that? I guess they're all homing blitz balls. Oh no, it's messing up this time. There we go. I broke the record though. That was a bit more smooth. So 15 seconds. And the prize here is a Mega Potion. So that's actually better than the initial reward. Fine. Okay, so let's do something else. Hyper Dodger Chocobo. Balls and things come flying, so dodge them with left and right. Your Chocobo will be stunned if he's hit, so do your best to avoid them. Shall we begin? 18.5 seconds. Let's do it. So now it's not just blitz balls flying at us, but it's birds too, as you can see. But they come like tied together. So if the blitz ball hits you, the bird in the background will actually disappear, as you can see there. Now, I guess just more of a wavy kind of thing here is better. But the problem I've always had with this is I find it's too difficult to avoid the blitz balls that like cluster bomb open. They're worms cluster bombs, that's what they are. So anyway, we missed that. We'll try again. Come on, get in, getting in. Oh, we just got it. The more attention you pay swinging left to right, the obviously the longer it takes. We finished though. 18.4. Just got it. She says, I'm so happy someone finally finished all the exercises. You completed all the training, but there's still one last favor I want to ask. Race me. Challenge me anytime. I love a good race. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's your prize. Whenever you tie or break your record, you'll get a prize like this. Level 2 key sphere. Well, let's break that record and see what we get here. One more time. Oh, man. Did you see the frequency of the things coming in at the end there? Alright, fine. That double hit was brutal at the end. Fuck. Well, that was my worst yet. Oh, my God. This is just the worst. Fuck off. No. Come on. Was that it? Was that it? 18.7. God damn it. Man, how did that... Oh, fuck off. Oh, I think I got it exactly again. 18.4. Yes. Wow, I can't believe twice in a row I got the exact same score. Oh, well, there you go. So she's going to jot that down. Our prize is an ether there. So really not too convincing. There we go. This is the last challenge. It's called Catch a Chocobo. This is... so she says, we're near the Calmlands exit to the Macalania Woods. This is the starting line. And the finish line is the far right edge of the plain over there. Yes, over there. Basically, if you get there before I do, I win. You win. But that's not all. Each balloon you pick up along the way shaves 3 seconds off your final time. But each bird that hits you adds 3 seconds to your final time. We take the total time, subtract bonuses, add penalties to decide the outcome of the race. So even if I reach the race line first, you can still win if you catch enough balloons. That's all for now. Shall we race? Let's do it. We'll shoot for about 45 seconds. So, this is the hardest mini-game in Final Fantasy X, in my humble opinion. Where, okay, maybe not worse than the lightning dodging. Pretty bad. I got pretty good RNG on this one, so that's quite good. But it's a pretty bad one. Basically, just completing the race isn't that bad at all. I messed up big time there by giving her that balloon. Just completing the race alone isn't that bad. I'll probably beat her on this run. The AI isn't very good. But you will get a special item here for completing this race with a time of less than 0 seconds on your thing. So you need to complete the race and get enough balloons and dodge enough birds so that if I'd actually played well here, I promise you guys I might have actually done it. Hit few enough birds and get enough balloons that after all the bonuses are done, you have less than 0 seconds on there. So after tallying all the birds and balloons, our total times are 10 seconds versus her 32. So I won straight away. That was a really good route I had there, and I could have got 0 seconds. But getting 0, she says, I knew you were good, but not this good. I'll have to train harder to match you. Feel free to stop by for training anytime. Here's your prize for beating me. You earned it. Whenever you tie or break your own record, you'll get a prize like this, a level 3 key sphere. I'm not going to be able to beat 10 seconds there. It's actually really hard, and so people can spend a long time trying, and we got our Chocobo license trophy there, as you can see, trying to get 0 seconds for that special reward. I've already done that. I have footage of it. I'll show it to you guys, but we're not going to bother with that here in this episode. That will come later when we're trying to power up our final weapons. So let's quit. That's pretty much everything for training a Chocobo and the Chocobo mini-games here in the Calmlands. And now that we've done that, you'll see this guy is randomly stood here. We got how does that even happen? Oh well, it's Marlboro and we got preempted. Alright, Titus, we'll get him by running away. So check it out, this guy's just appeared here. He says, hey, I saw it, I saw the race, you were amazing, I can't believe you won. But you were so lucky, I mean, sometimes she's hot, sometimes she's not. Sure, so anyway, now whenever you win a race against her, that guy comes out and says, wow, you did amazing. Where's he from? He's from this little cliff down here. So now we can enter that area. Took ages to load in the enemies there. So here's a new enemy. I will show this battle. That is an ogre there. Just like the Wendigo, probably a little bit less healthy than the Wendigo. But still, what were these enemies weak to? I don't remember. Let's bring Yuna in. She hasn't had an excuse for return for a while. So let's bring her in and go an Azuna on Titus. There we go. So yeah, he's just like the Wendigo. When he gets low on health, he'll put his arms up and then he'll start countering with lots of physical attacks. Does loads of damage. Darkness is great against him. I'm surprised Yuna survived there. So we will bring Waka in. And we will Darkbuster him. So at least against this guy, I can demonstrate Wendigo's weaknesses. Right, Titus, kill the wolf. And then now that Yuna's had her go, we'll bring Kamari in. What's his weakness? I guess fire. Yep, fire. And we'll start going ham. And we got the Petrify too. TKO. Still pulling its weight all the way this late in the game. Such a good weapon. Alright, so yeah, the Seeker's Shield. Yeah, check it out. So down here, we have got nothing. Wow, that's kind of weird. But there's something on the wall here. We interact with it and it says it won't open. There's a lot of things in this game. This is the first one I've shown you. There's a lot of areas of the game where you interact with stuff and it just says it won't open. Do you remember when we were releasing those cactars out in the Thunder Plains? Well, if we released all of them, prayed at all the stones, we would have found something there again that wouldn't open. I'll describe all of that process in a later video. It might even be dedicated to it, I don't know. And while a lot of these things are optional and open to us right now, I'm not interested in spending the time doing it because it would just make us overpowered. So here's something I've been dying to do this whole episode. Let's bring Waka in. He's got his overdrive back for the record. Should we try? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, another status reels. Here we go. All right. We'll go with the poison this time, yeah? There we go. 3 poisons. What do we get? Oh, wow. That was pretty nice. Good damage, sleep, darkness, poison, silence. That's amazing. So here's something else we can do. Okay, now this guy as a flan is resistant to physical attacks, right? There's lots of enemies we've established for a long time that are like that. And there's always been rock, paper, scissors, who attacks what. Well, Auron with his debuffs can stop that. So he learned a while ago this ability here called Armor Break, I haven't properly shown you guys what it does. If we armor break this flan...
Your pain shall be twofold.
You see that he still didn't do much damage, Orin didn't do much damage, but now that he's armor broken, as you'll see it cycling through there, when we attack, Tidus does much better damage. Now, he was attacking with an element there, and he wasn't, weak to it or whatever, but this is something that you can do, especially when you're fighting, like, elementals. You remember, like, yellow elementals and stuff? When you armor break those things, you make them vulnerable to regular attacks, and it's really strong for that. Anyway, so here she says, "Hi there, wanna ride a chocobo?" And we'll say, yeah, let me ride one. And it's free here in the Calmlands, as opposed to the Mi'ihen High Road, because in the Calmlands, you help to train the sodding thing. So yeah, we're now on a chocobo. We don't need to have any more encounters in the Calmlands. We could, in theory, just skip the whole thing now. I'm going to come back here. Oh, there is a chest behind this. I almost forgot. No, I've still got all the chests in the area, so we don't have to worry. So we'll grab that chest. Walk back into this place. We have to dismount. But just like in the high road, it will wait there for you wherever you want it. So we'll come through here, save. And what we're going to do here, just before we leave the Calmlands, there's like one enemy I haven't shown you, and those are the Basilisk enemies. I'll show you them later on in the series. So don't worry about that. But here, so we're going to go and grab a bunch of chests. And I'm going to show you some lore as well. First of all, you see there's a chocobo over there. If you interact with it, you can mate with it and do all this cool... No, you can't. You can't mate with chocobos. That would be cool, though. But over here, you'll see there's a person standing here. Oh, sorry, I have to voice this. This gorge is called the Scar. They say that when the High Summoner cornered Sin, Sin tore the earth here asunder with the last of its strength. The High Summoner and Sin struck each other down at the gorge's bottom. Lord Gandalf's sacrifice brought us the calm. Wow, really? I guess I clicked through that a bit too quickly. I thought there was a lot more, and you got... If I didn't click through that so quickly, we would have got a lot more of the establishing shots. Anyway, it's called the Scar. They say that when the High Summoner, blah 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 blah. Same dialogue. This captured the imagination of young me. You never get to go into the bottom of that gorge. The final super boss of this game, however, rises from the depths of the gorge. It's not really a spoiler, so don't worry. There's basically no story with him at all. So that inspired me when I was younger, and I wanted to create a story for it. I wanted to understand the lore of that final boss, and figure out what might be going on down there. And I don't know, I had a bit of like an artistic obsession with holes as well for a while, and part of that maybe came from this this series. Anyway, so on this weird spike here, you see it says something is written here. With the veil at your back, go 49, then 7 to the right in the truest line. That is a part of an Albed riddle. And there's loads of clues all around the Calmlands. Again, it's something we're not going to worry about just yet. I've got footage and videos of it later. See how the side quest stuff really is sort of amped up at this point? It's good. To give you a load of action-packed linear bits of story, and then it all opens. Anyway, so in the very bottom right-hand corner of the giant plain here, you will find 2 chests near the collapsed bridge that I showed you when we first got to the Calmlands. 5,000 gil in one, 10,000 in the other. Enemies in this area wouldn't be particularly dangerous. There was another thing I wanted to show you near the Scar, near that character we were talking to. Maybe I can't anymore. But you see how the terrain is a different colour here, and there's like a weird looking crater here? There's an area of the Calmlands where some of the ground, the muddy ground, is a darker colour as it is here, but it's shaped in a love heart. And that love heart, while you're stood on it, you get no encounters. It's just a random small little bit of trivia, a weird little Easter egg out in the Calmlands if you go up there. So the map is telling us to go in the top right hand corner. We're not going to worry. You can see that there's a room down here, so why don't we go and have a look at what's going on there. This is where you're going to spend most of your time in Final Fantasy X's end game. One of the biggest, if not the biggest side quest in the entire game, and place to train your characters to max stats, is right here. Welcome, my friends, to the Monster Arena. This guy says, "This is a training area that Lord Mi'ihen constructed for the Crusaders. You can hone your battle skills here by fighting fiends gathered from all over Spira. But the fiends all got away because I screwed up. I'm too old to gather the fiends now, so I'm in quite a fix. So that's where you come in, sonny. Can I ask you to round up all the fiends for me? Of course, I'm not asking you to do it for free. There'll be nice, fat rewards. On top of that, you can hone your fighting skills here anytime against the fiends you bring back. In addition, any items you win during training are yours to keep for free. But there will be a small fee for each training session, so bear that in mind. How about it? Not a bad deal, eh? You won't regret it. Alright, ain't nobody got time for that. Or, alright, I'll do it, or explain it again. We're gonna do it. She says, that's the spirit, Sonny. Now, go catch all them fiends. But I've got one more warning before I can let you go. To catch a fiend, you have to defeat it with a special kind of weapon. But not to worry, I'll sell them to you for a special low price. Also, this arena can only hold 10 of each kind of fiend. There won't be any bonuses for capturing more than that, so keep an eye on your totals. I need you to start by collecting each species in the Calmlands. I can't reopen the arena without having some fiends, you know. By the way, there's a total of 9 species in the Calmlands. I'll give you a bonus if you can get all of them. Oh, before I forget, you have to use a special kind of weapon to catch them. I'll sell them to you at a special price. No need to thank me. Okay, you mentioned that twice. Alright, so he sells items also. Regular stuff here, but very late on in the game, once you've captured tons of monsters, he sells a totally unique item that, like, explodes the sphere grid. So we'll talk about that when that comes. But for weapons, we can see here, there's all these weapons with the auto ability on them called Capture. You can't customize Capture onto anything. You can only buy Capture weapons from this guy. And it literally means if you kill an enemy with a Capture weapon, instead of dissolving into fireflies, it will like disappear and go into the weapon or whatever and be magically transported to the arena. So I'll show that off by buying one for Tidus and buying one for Auron. Now, a big part of my preparation for this Let's Play was completing this side quest, because it is nothing but battle grind. There is no story with it at all. Literally, to complete this side quest, you have to go, once you get to the end of the game, you have to go to every single area, Besaid, Kilika, Mi'en High Road, Mushroom, everywhere, find every single fiend, even the rarest ones, and capture not just one of them, but 10 of them. So there are various rewards you can get for doing this. If we say, show me the fiends I've captured so far, you'll see here you get a big list of stuff. Now, he's only showing us the Calmland stuff right now, but they're all unknown. So if we catch, say, a wolf, it will appear here in this top slot, and it will say 1. If we capture 10 wolves, it will say 10. And that's basically the way that it goes. So I will capture the odd thing here and there, but I'm not doing it all with the cameras rolling for you. I instead have a save file ready where I've done all of that stuff, and we can just keep the ball rolling. But basically, the way it works is you capture once you've captured one of every fiend, he gives you an item and he creates his own monster. Like, he invents a new monster based on the monsters you've given him, like research. It's really weird. By the way, there's a guy on a Chocobo over here. This is the one we saw walking past Macon, so we'll go have a chat with him. So he creates these new monsters. And then once you've captured 10 of everything in that area, he'll give you an even better reward. And then once, say, you've captured like 10 of loads of different wasps across loads of different area, he'll create an amazing wasp, and so on. So this guy says, Lost, follow me if you want to go back to Bevel. So you can indeed follow him, and you'll go all the way back. I love that line as well, that it says you can go back to Bevel, because obviously that's where most people would want to go. They wouldn't say Macalania Forest, even though that is directly where he's leading us to. It would also be cool if you saw him walk through Macalania Forest and then into Bevel too. We know the game engine's capable of it. Remember those villagers back in Besaid at the start? It would go across multiple screens and things. Anyway, so we're coming all the way back here. You might be wondering, what the hell are we doing? Well, we're coming to this feather. Because now that we've got a Chocobo, we can jump across and go to a really cool place. By the way, a couple of other things about that Monster Arena. Yes, it's where you spend most of your time in Final Fantasy X endgame. There's also a secret dungeon there where you can walk in behind where the dude is in X2, but it's very difficult to unlock that dungeon. It's cool there. Anyway, so what is this lost temple that I was talking about? Look at how cool this place is. There's a squatter monkey there. People were saying on the LP that Isaru is like Japanese for monkey or something. Or like Saru is, so it's not a coincidence that you see lots of monkeys when you first meet Isaru. But check it out, this is Remiem Temple. I love this place. When I was super into modding Oblivion mainly, I took a course, and I wasn't very good. I took an online course that was hosted by the community that you had to apply for to learn how to do 3D modeling and stuff, because in that modding community, the main thing people always needed were modelers and texturers as well. Well, not so much texturers, but so basically I applied to take this course, but I was late with it, and I basically begged this guy. I said, I know I'm late with my application, but please, I really want to do it. And he responded by saying, yeah, you know, you say that, but the fact that you're already late sort of shows you lack a bit of discipline, and maybe you won't be able to do it. So are you sure about this? I was like, yeah, it's just a complete accident. And then he was totally right about me. I didn't have the discipline, and I didn't complete it. Anyway, the reason I took that course for the short period of time I did is because I was crazy inspired by this place. I love the look of this temple. Isn't it awesome? I really wanted to create it as like a player home or something in Oblivion. Or just like have a quest mod that eventually led to a giant hidden temple between two cliff sides. How awesome would that be, man? Alright, here you've got a sphere. And by interacting with this sphere, we can learn a bit about the temple and get some really cool wide angle shots of it. Chocobos come to this forgotten temple to test each other's speed and skill. You who are listening to this, you have been accepted as a true rider. It is a Chocobo custom that one must have the rider challenge the champion Chocobo that stands near this sphere. Interesting. Mount the bridled Chocobo waiting on the opposite side of the temple. Once you are astride the challenger, the race will begin. So, I guess just the fact we got here means that the Chocobo like us. Who left that sphere there? I don't know. But this is the champion Chocobo. He's an excited little fellow. Over here, you'll find another Albed Primer. This is Albed Primer 24. Q is equal to X. Fantastic. And yeah, so again, I don't know about the story here. Maybe they should have expanded on it a bit, but this is another mini game you can do with the Chocobo. So I already saved. I don't need to do it again. So we'll come over to this side, and here you'll find another Chocobo stood with a little monkey there. By interacting with the Chocobo, he says it seems to be telling you to ride it. It's funny, this exact shot here, but when I was setting up this Let's Play, to try and get video settings and stuff right, which is just a horrendous uphill battle. Like, my channel was really quiet for a long time before I started uploading this. It's just because of this. So this shot here was what I was using as my test footage, so I've seen this a million times recently. Anyway, he will ask, do you want to ride? And so you can ask it how to race, but yeah, let's do it. So, a little bit of split screen there as well. Funny enough, bit of trivia about this game. Very early concept for it. Included online and multiplayer for Final Fantasy X. But in the end, they dropped it, and that became Final Fantasy XI's thing, which was the very first Final Fantasy MMO. That's probably some of the best trivia that I've got for this LP, and friggin', I've just blown across it really easy. So, basically, it's a race. You just want to get to the center. It's incredibly easy to win the race. The thing with the race is, though, there's all these chests in the area, and you can try to open them up if you like. Whenever you do, it makes your Chocobo jump somewhere. Now, the more chests you get in a row, the better your reward will be, but the harder it is also to win. Now, there's 6 chests. No, I didn't mean to hit that pole. Ah, come on, let me squeeze past you. I can't believe that. I hate it when that happens. So he won just because he body blocked me the whole way. So yeah, there's lots of chests. Every time you get a chest, you get like a better reward. But if you hit any of those poles on the corner, it takes a chest away from you. So there is the absolute best reward you can get for this is for opening 5 chests in a row. That one's really hard. There are 6 chests on the map, but 5 is the ultimate goal of the race here. And again, I've already done it. This one can be kind of challenging too, so I'm not going to be able to do it live for you guys here, but I've already got footage of it which I can show off. I just want to at least get 3 chests as I play through here, because that gives you a really great item for mixes and customization, stuff like that. I sort of messed up there. I should have gone to that other chest. Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world if I come down here. I can grab this chest. And you'll see we're way ahead of the other Chocobo. Now, the route that the enemy Chocobo takes is random. So, it's actually RNG, and this is what makes people really annoyed about this one. You've either got a good chance, basically, you've either lost or won based on the start. Just because it's RNG, how quick he is. But there you go, so we won, and we opened 3 chests. Our regular reward there was something called the Cloudy Mirror. And it says here, this item opens ancient seals hidden throughout Spira. It seems to have lost its power, but there might be a way to restore it. Okay. That's to do with the final weapon. So first you want to get the Cloudy Mirror from here. Oh man, and so the first time you play it, you don't want any chests anyway. So I'll just do this again. I'll cut it and grab a couple of chests and show you guys the reward for 3. There we go. So I got 3 there. I was actually making really good time there too. The weirdest thing with this, see, I'm using the analog stick for this. I don't like using the D-pad. But sometimes your guy, as you take tight corners, like runs the wrong way. But there you go. So really easy to win there with 3 chests. Pulse hit 0, 3 chests open. We get 30 wings to discovery. Now, those are a cool item in that if we go to customize here and say the Onyx Bangle, which is defensive, you'll notice down here at the bottom, we have something called break HP limit. This allows health to exceed 9,999 points. Really cool, but they're very hard to get these items. So you get 30 here, and the rest you're going to want to get are very difficult from killing powerful monsters or spending a lot of money bribing Malboros. So I'm not going to do this. There's a big thing about Final Fantasy X. The devs expect you to use break HP limit, give all your toons like 50,000 health, 99,000 health, and then with those crazy numbers go and take on the super bosses. But funnily enough, using the correct defenses and moves, you can avoid all of that grind and still kill the super bosses with only having 9,999 health. So this whole thing, a big discussion which I'll get into later. So I'm not going to use break HP limit in this series. When I was younger trying to do the super bosses, I got really anal about it. I knew that it wasn't a good idea to do it, but I wanted it because it was like, these are the best stats, this is the way that the devs want you to do it. So I used to, you know, really go for it. But the amount of grind it costs means I've never actually killed all the super bosses before while playing this game. Never. Because I always like tired out, or that save file got corrupted, for example, that story I told you before. And so on. So we're going to keep the wings to discovery and just use them for some cheesy mixes, just to demonstrate, not to actually cheese my way through the game. But yeah, so that's just one of many items you can get. There's a reward for getting 1 chest, 2 chests, 3 chests, 4 chests, and 5. But it's impossible to get all 6. You can hack the game so that you can get the 6th, but the item that you get from it is just like a potion, which is what you'd get if you didn't get any chests at all or something. So... or if you just got 1. So the chest is there, but it doesn't really exist. Anyway, let's head into the temple, because we actually can. It's not just the Chocobo stuff outside. This is Remium, and pay careful attention to the door. All the Aeons in the game have got like a symbol, right? Which is very hard to see in most places. But 3 symbols just appeared on that door. There you'll notice Lady Yunalesca up in the top. This is a sort of a standard temple.
Welcome, Yuna.
And it's Belgamine.
What is this place? Remium Temple. Once a great religious center in the Calm Lands, lost after the battle with Sin.
And this is your home? What? You got something against company?
It's a long story. Easier perhaps to show you.
You're dead too.
Don't send me just yet. There is still one thing left for me to do here. With the help I can give, a young summoner might just be able to defeat Sin. Well, Yuna, I challenge you. If you cannot beat me, you'll never beat Sin.
Alright, now when we first got to the Mi'ihen High Road, I told you guys we were going to be meeting some new characters around that area of the story, which all have something in common. And I can now confirm to you, Belgamine is one of those characters. Alright, let's do our best. Here we go. Now, this is like a full-on gauntlet challenge.
Very well. Now.
You have to defeat all of her Aeons. Every time you get a new Aeon on Yuna, she will offer to fight you with that Aeon. So, Valifor is the first. And this is our first challenge to try and defeat Valifor. Shouldn't be a problem with people like Bahamut in our arsenal.
Choose your...
She's non-elemental, of course, so Bahamut is the undoubted choice.